Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have it all while others struggle? This question, in its simplicity, carries a profound depth. It's a question that leads us to the heart of human motivation, the engine that powers us to surpass limits, conquer adversity, and shape our lives in ways we never imagined. Motivation, the silent force within us, is a potent tool. It's the spark that ignites ambition, the fuel that keeps the fire of determination burning bright. It's what gets us up in the morning, ready to seize the day, and what keeps us striving for more. But where does it come from? How does it work? And most importantly, how can we harness it to bring about the change we desire? These are compelling questions, and the answers are equally fascinating. So, let's embark on a journey of discovery. In the next few minutes, we will explore this question together. Consider the tale of two wolves, a story that originates from the Native American tradition. This tale is passed down from generation to generation, a parable of life and the power of choice. In this tale, there are two wolves locked in an eternal battle. The first wolf embodies fear. It manifests itself in anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. This wolf is formidable, feeding on our insecurities and doubts, pushing us to act out of fear and negativity. The second wolf, however, represents courage. It stands for joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. This wolf inspires us to act out of love and positivity, to be brave in the face of adversity, and to choose kindness even when confronted with hostility. The two wolves are always at war, each vying for control, each representing the dual nature of our character. But here's the twist in the tale. The wolf that wins, the wolf that dominates, is not determined by destiny or fate. It is determined by us, by our choices, by our actions, and most importantly, by what we choose to feed. When we feed the wolf of fear, we allow negativity to take root. We let anger and resentment control our actions. We let greed and envy cloud our judgment. And we let fear dictate our lives. But when we feed the wolf of courage, we cultivate positivity. We choose love over hate, kindness over hostility, and hope over despair. We choose to act with empathy and humility, to speak the truth even when it's hard, and to have faith even when we're tested. The wolves are within us, a part of our nature, a manifestation of our thoughts and emotions. And every day, with every choice we make, we are feeding one of them. So, which wolf are you feeding? The story of the two wolves demonstrates the power of choice. Life, in its simplest essence, is a cascade of choices. Each choice we make, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, shapes our destiny and paints the canvas of our life story. Consider the tale of Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple. He was given up for adoption at birth, dropped out of college, and faced countless setbacks in his career. Yet he chose to persevere. He made the choice to see each stumbling block as a stepping stone, every failure as a lesson, and each setback as a setup for a comeback. His choices, not his circumstances, led to the creation of one of the most successful tech companies in the world. Or take the example of Oprah Winfrey. She was born into poverty, faced abuse in her childhood, and was told she was unfit for television. But she chose to rise above her circumstances. She chose to believe in her abilities and her worth. Her choices, not her circumstances, propelled her to become a media mogul and an influential figure in the world. These are not isolated examples. History is replete with stories of individuals who, despite facing hardships, chose to take the reins of their life in their hands, chose to never give up, chose to believe in their dreams. Their choices, not their circumstances, determined their outcomes. Every day, every moment, you are presented with choices: to get up early or hit the snooze button, to react or to respond, to hold a grudge or to forgive, to give up or to keep going. Each choice carries immense power: the power to shape your life, the power to influence your future, the power to determine your destiny. So choose wisely. Choose courage over fear. Choose action over inaction. Choose perseverance over giving up. Choose positivity over negativity. Choose to be the author of your life story, not just a character in it, because at the end of the day, it's not your circumstances, but your choices that define who you are and what you become. Remember, you have the power to choose. Motivation acts as the fuel that propels us to make the right choices. It's that silent cheerleader, urging us on when the going gets tough, the inner drive that pushes us to reach the finish line, to strive for excellence, to overcome hurdles and to achieve our goals. Let's talk about the significance of motivation in our lives. Imagine a car. It's sleek, shiny, and equipped with the latest technology. But without fuel, it's just a hunk of metal and plastic. It can't move, it can't take you to your destination. Similarly, we need motivation to move forward, to reach our goals, to arrive at our desired destinations in life. There are countless stories of people who, armed with fierce determination and unwavering motivation, have achieved remarkable feats. Take Thomas Edison, for instance. He made 1,000 unsuccessful attempts at inventing the light bulb. But his motivation didn't dwindle. Instead, he famously said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." And eventually he did succeed. His motivation was the fuel that kept him going despite the apparent failures. Scientific studies also back the power of motivation. According to a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, individuals who are motivated are more likely to persevere in the face of adversity, showing resilience and tenacity. They are the ones who don't give up when met with challenges but instead rise to the occasion driven by their desire to succeed. But motivation is not a one-time thing. It's not about getting pumped up once and then expecting to ride on that wave forever. It needs to be replenished, nurtured, and maintained. Like a fire, it needs to be stoked regularly to keep it burning bright. Motivation can come from different sources. It can be intrinsic, coming from within us, driven by our passions, interests, or values. Or it can be extrinsic, driven by external rewards or recognition. Regardless of the source, the important thing is to have it, to hold on to it, to let it guide us towards our goals. So how do we keep the fire of motivation burning? Building motivation is a process, not an event. A profound truth that we often overlook. We tend to see motivation as a sudden burst of energy, a momentary inspiration, but in reality, it's a journey, a gradual climb that requires effort, patience, and persistence. Let's start with the first step in this process, setting clear goals. Goals are the fuel to your motivation fire. They are the destinations that your journey is leading you towards. Without clear goals, you might find yourself wandering aimlessly, with no real sense of purpose or direction. So take some time to reflect on what you want to achieve. It could be as grand as starting a business or as simple as reading a book every month. Whatever it is, make sure it's clear, specific, and meaningful to you. But remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, neither will your motivation. This brings us to the next step, celebrating small victories. Each goal can be broken down into smaller, manageable tasks. Every time you complete one of these tasks, take a moment to acknowledge your progress. You've just climbed another step on your motivation ladder. These celebrations act as positive reinforcements, boosting your morale and propelling you forward. However, maintaining motivation isn't just about setting goals and celebrating victories. It's also about creating a positive environment that nurtures your drive. This leads us to the next step, surrounding yourself with positive influences. Whether it's the books you read, the people you interact with, or the places you visit, make sure they inspire you, uplift you, and encourage you to keep going. Remember, motivation is contagious. If you're surrounded by positivity, it's likely to rub off on you. But what happens when things go wrong? When you face setbacks and disappointments? Well, that's when you need to remind yourself why you started in the first place. Revisit your goals, remind yourself of the progress you've made, and reignite the spark that got you started. This is the essence of resilience, the ability to bounce back, to keep going despite the challenges. Building motivation is like building a house. It requires a solid foundation, which is your clear goals. It needs strong walls, which are your small victories. It requires a roof, which is your positive environment. And most importantly, it needs you, the architect, the builder, the resident, to keep it standing and thriving. So remember, motivation isn't a destination, it's a journey, a process. It requires effort, patience, and persistence. But with the right mindset, the right tools, and the right approach, you can keep your motivation flame burning bright. With these steps, you can keep your motivation alive. Because motivation is not just about starting the journey, it's about enjoying the ride and reaching your destination. Inspiration often serves as the spark that lights the fire of motivation. It is a force that fuels our drive and pushes us to reach for the stars. It's an invisible hand, guiding us towards our dreams, making the impossible seem possible. Let's take a moment to consider the role of inspiration in our lives. Inspiration is often the springboard for action. It's the catalyst that transforms an ordinary person into an extraordinary achiever. It's not just about having a dream, it's about having the courage to chase that dream. Think about the inspiring figures who have left their mark on the world. People like Martin Luther King Jr., who dared to dream of a world where people were judged by the content of their character rather than the color of their skin. Or Amelia Earhart, who defied societal norms to become the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. Their stories remind us that the spark of inspiration can ignite a flame of change that can light up the world. Inspiration can also be found in everyday events. A beautiful sunset, a kind word from a stranger, a book that opens your mind to new ideas, or even a failure that teaches you a valuable lesson. These moments of inspiration can stir something within us, nudging us to step out of our comfort zones and pursue our passions. Inspiration is a powerful tool in the quest for motivation. It's the fuel that keeps our inner fires burning, even when the odds are stacked against us. It reminds us that we are capable of achieving great things, that our dreams are within reach if we dare to pursue them. But remember, inspiration is not a one-size-fits-all concept. What inspires one person may not inspire another. It's a deeply personal journey, unique to each individual. It's about finding what resonates with you, what sparks your curiosity, and what drives you to push beyond your limits. Inspiration can come from anywhere. You just need to be open to it. So, open your eyes, open your mind, and let the world inspire you. Because when you're inspired, you're unstoppable. To sum up, motivation and inspiration are powerful forces that can shape our lives. Let's take a quick moment to recap the main points we've discussed throughout this video. We started with the power of questions, recognizing that the questions we ask ourselves can steer our thinking and consequently, the course of our lives. We then moved on to the story of the two wolves, a profound tale that underscores the importance of the choices we make every single day. We've delved into the power of choice and how each decision we make, no matter how seemingly insignificant, can drastically impact our future. We've discussed the role of motivation and how this inner drive can propel us towards our goals, even in the face of adversity. We've also explored the process of building your motivation, emphasizing that it's not a one-time event, but rather a continuous journey. We've highlighted the impact of inspiration and how it can spark ideas, fuel creativity, and ultimately lead to success. But remember, all these concepts, all these tools and strategies mean nothing without action. You can have all the motivation and inspiration in the world, but unless you put it into action, it will amount to nothing. This is where the real power lies, in your hands. You are the author of your own story, the artist of your own masterpiece. Every day you have the opportunity to feed the right wolf, make the right choices, and let motivation and inspiration guide you towards your goals. So, as we conclude this journey, I want to leave you with a challenge. Don't just passively consume this information. Take it, embrace it, and most importantly, act on it. Now, it's your turn. Start feeding the right wolf, make the right choices, and let motivation and inspiration guide you to your goals. Remember, the power is in your hands.